Yes, welcome back everybody to the SA Sports Show. Still plenty to come on the show, but now we're going to turn our attention to the Southern Footy League. Pop got a couple of the big heavyweights in. The president, of course, has come in, Craig Warmen. Craig, how are you?
Good afternoon.
And, of course, the patron, Johnny Hall, joins us. Johnny, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Let's have a talk about the Southern Footy League, boys. 130 years this year.
Yes.
Been a lot of changes in that time?
Very much so. Horse and buggy when we first started, so to speak. And a very interesting story to relay a little bit later. But yeah, 130 years old this year. And again, steeped in history. We've got 14 clubs currently in our league. We run from basically Anzac Highway to all the way to Waldinga.
Well done. Let's have a talk about that, because the urban sprawl has made its way out way past that now. Of course, the facilities are a problem for all clubs, but early days, the facilities that were built out there were for, you know, the country folk.
Yes.
Now it's almost city. Do the facilities need some refurbishing?
They do. And again, a lot of our clubs are in the process of doing that. Marion Sports and Social Club.
Fantastic
They've had
setup.
a fantastic setup there. I know Morphettville Park are in the process of revamping their little oval at Morphettville Park there. We do have other clubs like Ranella and Morphet Vale who are also in the process of looking to again upgrade. And we're certainly looking in the next couple of years with female football coming into the Southern Football League as well, we're going to have that to enable extra change rooms, etc.
You know, the biggest thing, I guess, that we hear about is numbers. You know, the numbers, the competitiveness to get that junior player, that 6 to 8 year old player, given the soccer is resurgence in recent years and netball for women, for instance. How are your numbers going down there?
Our numbers are surprisingly are really, really good.
Oh, great.
We started up a mini league program probably 8-9 years ago now, and we run under 8s, 10s and 12s. And we used to have a carnival at the end of each year, and we could fit 8s, 10s and 12s in one day. Now we have to have 3 separate weekends. So the under 8s get their lightning carnivals,
fantastic.
Under 10s get their carnival, under 12s, and we would get probably 2,500-3,000 people go each weekend to support these kids. When you've got teams like Morphet Vale and Ranella and Norlunga, they've got anything up to 6 to 8 under 8 teams, and then under 10s teams and under 12s teams. So it's, you say the urban sprawl's caught up with us. Yeah, it has, but it's really, really good with the numbers that we're able to generate down there.
With it.
It does, very much so.
Okay.
A couple of years ago I did some projects out there, and one of the problems was, that's why I asked you about the facilities, were that they were finding that there were so many kids that wanted to participate, they're actually turning them away. Still happening? Still too many kids for some of the clubs?
Mate, the Southern Football League's ethos is, if you want to have a game of football, we will try and accommodate. And one of the other things, when we just digressing back, when we introduced our mini league, we did an actual survey when we started that to look at the effect of jobs on kids, 14s and 16s. Now, we had a lot of kids, 14s and 16s, who had to work on Saturdays.
Yes.
But they still loved their footy and wanted the game. So we introduced, for the clubs that were able to, a 14s and 16s Sunday competition. So we've got 14s, 16s Saturday and Sunday. And again, we've got 18s, B grade, A grade, and of course you've got the C grade that play on Sunday as well. All
right, sounds like the Southern Footy League could be a benchmark for some of the other organisations that are struggling a little bit. Let's talk about some of the history, because it's 130 years now. John, I know you've done a bit of work on this. Let's talk first off about the Hall of Fame. 2007, Southern Footy League started up the Hall of Fame. Some big names that have been playing AFL footy have come out of your Hall of Fame.
Yes, we started that up with a view of, importantly, recognising people that have been involved in the Southern Football League for a long time. We have a benchmark where someone's got to be 25 years as a volunteer. We couple that with our elite players that win 3 medals, that they get into it automatically, or 300 games, they get into it automatically.
The 3 league best and fairest?
Three best and fairest, a la 3 Brownlows, or 3 male medals, as it were. So we don't want to just make it elitist, because we are a volunteer organisation, and we try to support all those that are involved in it, because without the volunteers, the clubs don't exist. You must have the volunteers. So we reward in our Hall of Fame those people that support the players as well. So moving on from 07, in 2011 we had our 125-year celebration, and out of that we chose our best ever team. But also we chose a team which had the best exports. In other words, elite footballers that enjoyed AFL careers, SANFL careers, that started off at Christie's Beach, Ranella, Port Noarlunga, Willunga, etc. And as I said to you before, Phil, some great players have come out of our league that started in our junior programs.
So Tony Modra would be pretty close to the name that most people would know, but most people might not know that's where Mod started.
He started at Christie's Beach, and he's a Coleman medalist, of course. He won and a bit of a cult figure. Also Adam Cooney, he played for Flagstaff Hill, a Brownlow medalist. And also
Rod Jamison's out of there.
Rod Jamison, he played for Morford Vale. You've got also Doughty, that's plays for Ranella, 200 games.
Doughty,
he's played in 2 premierships with Ranella since he went back there.
And one of the most successful ones, just butting in, John, was probably Craig McRae.
Yep.
Okay, that's right.
From O'Sullivan's Beach. Who,
3 premierships.
with the Brisbane Lions. So, yeah.
All right, let me ask you about this bloke, Taffy Way, 1903, Poppy, this guy. So they've gone back, you can't remember him? No. Tell our listeners a little bit about Taffy.
Well, Poppy, you should know him.
I should.
You should know him because
Yes, you should.
Yes.
he used to play football for the Sturt Football Club.
I did.
This gentleman started his football career with Willunga as a 13-year-old back in the 1870s. He's gone on and in 1902 went to Sturt.
Yes.
1903, he wins the McGarry Medal.
Wow, okay.
And he's one of 14 kids in the family. Dad runs the local blacksmith shop at Willunga. And the legend is that every Saturday he used to drive the horse and cart from Willunga in 1903. You imagine there was no roads or so it'd be dirt tracks.
Bit of a journey.
All the way to Unley. He'd ruck all day for Sturt, then ride the horse and cart home.
But
I drove the car. I lived in Parkside. I lived in Parkside. Right, truly, it took me 3 minutes to get there. I couldn't get a kick.
But the wonderful thing about this Taffy Way is that after he finished his career with Sturt, he then went back to Willunga. Then he was called up in the First World War.
Oh, okay.
So he went away in the First World War, and he came back. And in 1919, as a 42-year-old, went back and played for Willunga after the First World War, and played in a premiership at 42 years of age in 1919.
Aren't they great stories, though?
Great stories.
And you know what? The Hall of Fame, I think, highlights and remembers those. And you know, in 100 years' time, we'll be talking about certain players in a certain way that are playing today, and you know that really endears you as a footy fan, and gives some tradition. I don't know. Tradition. I think that's what it's about. You can't buy it, you have to record it and respect it.
And being a blacksmith by trade, he was a fairly hefty sort of bloke. You know, used to ruck all day for Sturt, played 8 games for South Australia as well back in the early days.
Wow.
But when he went to war, he was in the 5th Pioneers Division. And the 5th Pioneers Division is what we would call today the logistics people. These were the blokes that actually dug the trenches. He fought all through the European campaign, and then, as John said, come back as a 42-year-old, got a standing ovation when he left the ground after winning winning his grand final in his last ever game.
In 100 years' time, they're going to be talking about the bloke that drove his car. You know what they used to do? They used to drive a car to the Oval, go,
Oh, yeah, well, now you come with some kind of helicopter. I've got to ask you quickly, fellas, before we run out of time. So many things to talk about. Salary cap is an issue across all leagues.
Yes.
How does the Southern Footy League deal with the salary cap issues?
Look, in regards to that, it's been a long time coming. There's been a lot of leagues out there that we know have actually had players that have drifted out there for the money, etc.
Sure.
And of course, that's going to impact on your local SANFL clubs as well. But in the Southern Footy League, there's a little bit of money around, but it's nowhere near what you get going down to the southeast or anywhere else. So, in actual fact, it's not going to have any real great effect on our league, I don't believe.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because what you're saying is you've got the kids that come in at 6, 8, 10, so they create a loyalty for that club, and that's why they stay with them, which is dissolving just about everywhere. Fellas, we've got to wrap it up. Really appreciate you coming in. It's lots to talk about. Have to get these 2 chaps back for some more talk about the Southern Footy League. We need to get to a break. Stay with us. Still plenty to come.